Welcome, Exiles! I gotten a lot of questions about my 1v0 Cyclone Gladiator Berserker build that we made during the Delirium League. It got nerfed quite a bit, so is it still viable? The short answer is yes, and let me give you the long answer. So during the Delirium League we could stack as many split personality jewels as we wanted to, which led to the pretty ridiculous skill tree that just focus on as many travel nodes as possible to get as much dexterity out of split personalities, and we stacked up dexterity to ridiculousness and we got ridiculous amount of damage because more dexterity equals more damage because we're using 1v0 cluster jewel, which gives more fist damage based on how much dexterity you have. So we can still get decent amount of dexterity without split personality jewels. We are limited to just using 2. We were using like 10-15 of them, as many as we could basically. Now we cannot do that anymore, and we also lost we were using a lot of cluster jewels. Basically we were ignoring the skill tree and just using cluster jewels and split personality jewels. But now we are no longer doing that because we lost deep cuts on cluster jewels, which were giving us additional impale, and that no longer exists. That was removed after the Delirium League. So but we also got a lot of they buffed a lot of nodes on the skill tree, so we have lots and lots more stuff to pick up on skill tree. So now we can get the damage off a skill tree. The cluster jewels are still kind of a decent amount of boost in damage, but we don't want to be using 3 of them. We just kind of fine with 1. And that makes the build even less expensive than it was during the Delirium. And the split personality jewels, nobody wants them because you just need 2 of them for this build, and not a lot of people are playing this, so you will probably be able to buy them. They're usually, I think, 30-40 kills at the moment, but trust me, in a week or 2 they're going to be, I don't know, 20 kills, maybe even 10 kills. I mean, as I said, like, nobody wants them. So yeah, the build is going to be less expensive than it was, which is always nice. The damage we used to have on this kind of gear, around 25 to 30 maybe, if you kind of squeezed it. But now it's gonna be around 15 to 20 million damage probably. I still have to squeeze the skill tree and gear to make it like to squeeze out all the damage and defenses out of the gear and skill tree as I can on a budget. I don't want to include the items that are gonna give me a lot of damage but are expensive because I don't have currency to buy them at the moment. I will probably, if I played more and messed around less with path of building. So yeah, like, we'll include those items in a final skill tree as kind of optional stuff, but I think with those items you can probably push it up to 40 million or something like that. It's probably going to be rivaling the Phase Breakers unarmed build. I thought the Phase Breakers would actually be stronger than this, and I will have to check that because Phase Breakers are also pretty strong, but they are a bit more popular. This means that the items for that build are gonna be a bit more expensive, right? Like Rislata's coil, which we don't need. We have something that's better for our build because we want dexterity out of, and there is Cyclopedian coil, which gives like lots more dexterity and it's not as expensive. And few other items that are simply less expensive because this build is less popular. So I think this build will actually do more damage than Phase Breakers on a budget. I'm not sure as high-end versions how they are going to stack up to each other, but yeah, we'll have to see. Anyways, I wanted to make this video so to give you the path of building that's actually playable in Heist League. And I'm going to include that path of building in all of the other videos that I have on the channel, so nobody kinda gets an idea that The other one works, the other one is broken, that we made during the Delirium League. The only one that works is the budget version, because that one wasn't using cluster jewels or split personalities because they were too expensive to put into the budget version. And that variant, like with 5-link, like really bad gear, was able to do tier 16 maps. And this version will definitely be able to do Cyrus, Elder, Ubel, all the bosses, except Aziri, I think, because you have to sort out Reflect to be able to do them, do her, but we didn't sort that out. It's not really hard to sort out Reflect. You can just grab a chest piece that has physical damage cannot be reflected, or rings. It can be sorted out, it's not a big deal, but it definitely can do all the bosses. I just have to test out everything, and if you're grabbing the POE now, yeah, like, you're beta testing. I haven't tested everything out. If something doesn't work, let me know in comments, we'll try to work it out, and if you can help me make the build better, that is also nice. So if you have some suggestions, feel free to jump in the comments. There are some awesome new features in Path of Building that I use to make this build better. So now let's jump into Path of Building and I will show you everything that we did. Okay, let me show you first like what we had. Like, this is from 3.10, all of this is broken. Then I'm going to show you what I built, and I'm going to show you a few really cool features of new Path of Building. And I should be making a guide for that. But like, here's a quick preview of that. This is like the last one. There's those 80 million damage kind of deal here that is level 100. It's not actually that because it's broken. But yeah, first of all, it's not even showing the Cyclone properly, so yeah. We kind of lost the split personalities, which there are a lot of them. We can just use 2 of them. We lost deep cuts. We're not gonna be using Brutal Restrain or Watcher's Eye in this version that I'm building at the moment. There are different anoids that we want to be using. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that we want to be using, so this is like scrapped. That doesn't work. So let me show you what I built so far. Okay, so this is the skill tree. It does like almost 15 million damage. I haven't included like all of the levels. I could even scrap a whole bunch of stuff if I wanted to. I mean, that's defensive, but yeah. For some reason that went out. What did I do? I'm not gonna save it, just gonna reroll it. So, how did I build this thing? Well, I built it using power nodes. And it's like really crazy. You just select Impel DPS, and it's gonna show you the best nodes that are on skill tree based on how far you need to travel. So for instance, if I wanted to grab this, which is Fortify, I don't have to travel a lot, and that is gonna give me a lot of damage. However, it's still like a lot of travel for me, so that's why I didn't get it. Like, this node here is pretty good because it's dexterity and the block and attack speed. Attack speed is huge actually, so because we're getting multiplier here, more attack speed. I thought like we have enough attack speed, but it's actually not true. You want to be scaling attack speed and physical damage first, probably like Fizz increase, Fizz Bolties, everything that you can get, and you can also, if you see some attack speed, that is also pretty good, which is probably not something I would have gone for. Like, just look at this, grabbing just a bit of attack speed here, and that's a lot of damage actually. But I thought I have enough attack speed. I should be scaling the base damage and not the attack speed. It doesn't matter, like, there's a lot of stuff. You have it's basically showing you what is best, that is really close. Sometimes it's kind of hit or miss, but in general it's pretty good. And the other one is this is show top node. Is gonna give you like the best node that is for anoids. I would never guess that this is a good anoid without this feature. This increases the damage of buffs from totems, and we have Val Ancestral War Chief, which gives us 32% more melee damage while Totem is active. And while it's just a regular Totem, it gives 18%, and boosting that by 50% is huge. So that is something that you might annoy, or this Command of Steel, which is also something that I would have missed without this help of Path of Building, because this is like for shields, and I would have gone through here and said, I am not using a shield, I'm not gonna get that. But now with these two features, with show top node, show power per node, is like crazy good. You can look for life. You want to boost your life, you go power per point, and you can see like what do I get, what's kind of really good, like this is good for instance, and so on and so forth. That is those two features, but it gets even crazier, man. I'm really amazed with Path of Building, like this new version. If we go here in items, you can sort by impale total DPS and figure out which unique items are good in the build and decide like what you want to get. It's really crazy how good this thing is. And yeah, looks like Devotos is pretty good upgrade over just like regular rare, but using Devotos is probably going to screw with you because you need a lot of resists on gear, and that's gonna be pretty hard. So yeah, like this is what I've been playing around for a few days. It's still, I think I'm missing that's like, I'm not sure if I would be getting that. Call to Arms, it's kind of really juicy, really close, so you would probably have to drop something in here. Probably increase duration for, I don't know, like you would have to put Warcry somewhere, and I'm not sure where you would do that because we're pretty much run out of space for that. I would guess you drop Blood Rage, because Blood Rage it does give you increased attack speed. It is pretty huge. It's actually not that huge, but it's still pretty good to have around. Maybe you just drop increased duration and just like do Vark. Enduring Cry. You're just gonna regen your health a bit. I don't know, where's regeneration? And also gives you like some fizz damage reduction. It's like not that needed, but it does give you regenerate like 2000 life over 1 second, so it's gonna be pretty good. It does give you endurance charges, additional physical damage reduction per endurance charge, +2 elemental resistance per endurance charge, so it is pretty good. And it's pretty convenient to just grab it there. I was kind of using Phase Run in this version. That is a bit weird, because Phase Run actually gives you a lot of damage, and I was just running through... I think was... What maps were we doing? Tropical Islands, and you really didn't need the dash to go over anything, so I was using Phase Run. You would probably use dash second wind or something like that if you need it, but I didn't need it at this version of the build, so that is a bit weird. I would not recommend actually using Phase Run, but yeah, if you want more damage, that is more damage there. And you would probably have to carry dash in your inventory and swap it when you need it. Other than that, you could actually drop all the auras and just go grab Supreme Ego and this thing here, so you can have one aura and one banner. And this says you can only have one permanent aura on you from your skills. I don't think banner counts as aura in that sense, so I would have to actually test that out. but that would mean like you get a stronger version of one aura and you get like a lot of slots freed up for other stuff. So that is something that should be considered. By the way, I think I gave you a bit of information about this path of building. It's not final, I don't want to spend a lot of time explaining everything, but I wanted to make a quick video, give you the path of building that is fully functional for Heist League. And yeah, just play around, tell me if you're playing this build, tell me like if you would improve something or if something doesn't work or it could be done better. Anything that's useful, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one, Exiles.